For low back pain, here's a little short process from Ruthy Alon's movement intelligence work that presents maybe a different way of thinking about your painful low back. And so one way to consider the low back is that, in the spine, any one part is only as good as the whole. And in this process, we're going to consider how we might begin to address low back pain by finding more mobility in this middle part of your spine, in your thoracic spine. So you want to sit in a chair and just notice your ease of sitting. Notice if you might have any discomfort. And you're going to want to be able to have your knees just a little lower than your hips. And you can be probably in a chair without arms would be best. You want to be able to have your feet flat on the floor. And the first thing that you'll do is you just notice if you can, with the one arm, reach over and touch this top part of your spine. So you see my hands are pointing down, and right in this area where your 7th cervical vertebrae is, you just have your hand pointing down the spine. Now you might check, you can see there's a difference in mine, how easily your arm goes there. It might be strained. It might be very easy for you. Your elbow might go higher. And just let it be wherever it will go comfortably, braced right here with your fingers pointing down. And from that place, if you're going to take your right arm and put it over, then you're going to put your right foot a little forward so that your feet are in this slight step position. And with your left hand, reach over and touch the elbow. Now this can look very different. I definitely have some restriction in my shoulders. Some of you will be able to be way up here with ease. Other people may find their arms right here. And just don't strain. Just start with what you can do. And so if I have my right hand back on my upper spine, then I'm going to take my left hand, my right foot forward. And from this place, I'm going to take my left hand and lift my right elbow back and just feel what it's like to begin that movement of lifting back. And try that a few times. And then pause and put a listening hand on your low back. If I have my right foot forward, I'm going to feel what it's like to push my right foot into the floor and let go. And feel what happens in your low back as you push your front foot into the floor. Notice how your low back lengthens and becomes more flat. And you can just feel that with both hands. Kind of acknowledge that for yourself, that when you have pressure on that front step foot, the low back is moving out of arch and into length. So hand over, opposite hand reaches across for your elbow, and you're going to take this hand and take the arm back. And this time when you do that, you're going to push your front foot into the floor, and you're going to keep that pressure in your front foot. And with your free hand here, you are taking the elbow back as you push your front foot into the floor. And notice how that is. That pushing of the front foot into the floor inhibits the low back from arching. And so these two hands are stabilizing the head and neck. So somehow, as we stabilize the head and neck, and that front foot pushes into the floor to inhibit the low back, we need to find another way to move back. And we're finding that in our middle part of our spine. And then take a rest. If this is a strain for your arms, take a lot of rest. You can also use something for support if you decide you need it in some way to connect your arms. You can have a small pillow. And then once you've kind of noodled around with that a little bit and took a break, then you're going to go back to that same place. And this time, if your arm will reach over and touch your elbow, and you can let this forearm touch the top of your head, then you're going to do that. So it's sort of like you have your head and your neck in a vise, but a really nice vise. So you're stabilizing the whole head and neck is moving as one unit, right? So hand over, palm, fingers facing down. Your top arm is touching the top of your head. Your front foot is pushing into the floor. I'm just showing it to you from all positions. I'm keeping that pressure into the floor with my front foot, and I'm just feeling what it's like to go back. With my head stable and my low back inhibited from arching. And I try that a little bit. Take all the breaks you need. Linger around any of the pieces. And then when you come back to that same position, foot forward in front, arm is stabilizing on top of your head and touching your elbow. And this time you're going to lean forward. You're going to lean forward, and with your elbow, you're going to draw a circle on the floor. In your imagination, I'm drawing a circle on the floor. And all the while that I'm drawing, I'm keeping pressure on the floor in that front foot. And you're going to draw in the one direction, and then reverse it and go the other way. And take some time with that. And take a break. You would take longer breaks that I'm showing you in this video. And then, after you've taken breaks for plenty of breaks for your arms, you don't even have to do this all in one sitting. You come back to this process. Hands start in the same way. And this time, we're going to draw a circle forward in space. Okay? So it's like we're drawing a circle this shape, right, out in front of us. So hands in the same place. Foot pressure on the front foot, and I'm going to lean forward and draw a circle and come back. I'm just changing positions so you can get a feeling for what it looks like. I'm drawing that circle in space. Maybe your circle is more oval or jerky in some places. And ask yourself, could you be curious in your circle instead of just cranking it out? Movement work is not like something like a physical therapy or stretching or strengthening. We're not in a hurry to get to it. We're more interested in lingering around the easy parts and noticing where we might be stuck. So we've explored this forward circle. We've explored drawing the circle on the floor. And now we're going to reverse it, and we're going to draw the circle in the other direction. So we're going to go down and out and then back up. So your hand goes over, you're bracing, the forearm touches the top of the head, and you're going to go down and up. And you're drawing a circle in front of you in space, but from the opposite direction. And notice how keeping that pressure on the front foot is keeping the low back quiet and rest. And you can get creative. You can do variations on these movements and develop your own patterns of moving, constantly sort of asking yourself, where is it easy and where is it sticky? And giving preferential attention to where it's easy, playing around with the easy more than the hard, then going back and checking the hard place after you've done the easy part, and seeing if, oh gosh, after doing the easy part, then the hard part is easier. And then see what happens for your low back.